Hey everybody, welcome to our first online meeting. Um, I see some of you already have some questions. Okay. Um, all right. So Yari asked, is there any cheaper alternative to the textbook? Unfortunately, no, there's no cheaper alternative to the textbook. So you either have to buy on the bookstore or buy online from the MindTap or Cengage directly. So, but there's no cheap alternative. Um, However, keep in mind that when you are paying for the textbook, you are paying for both sections. So you're paying for both. I mean, it does cover for two sections. So Econ 2001, also Econ 2002. So once you take your Econ 2002, you don't have to pay them anymore. It covers for both sections. But keep in mind, you have to keep them consecutively. So if you're taking 2001 for this semester, to make sure your books still go for next semester, for the 2002, you gotta take in the second semester, so consecutively. Okay. Um, uh, okay. So hopefully everybody have already accessed your MindTap assignment, and then you guys have already looked at the questions on your chapter quizzes. Now, since this is our first meeting, we're gonna go over the chapter PowerPoint first. I don't remember who asked me, but somebody asked me to post the PowerPoints online. Um, I I just did it, so it is post online now, but only did it for one of the class. So give me 1 second. Let me make sure I did for both classes. Go to module. The reason why I didn't put a PowerPoint on there initially is that there is a copyright issue, that the PowerPoint comes from the publisher, and then I'm not sure if you have the right to share with all the students. But you know what the hell? I'm just gonna put it on there. And if you're gonna sue me, let them sue me, okay? But you know what? If they sue me, you guys need to cover for my legal cost. All right, so chapter 1 and then chapter 2. All right, so guys, if you go to your Canvas and then go to your each module, I have already posted the 2 chapter PowerPoint on there. So go to week 1, you're gonna see the chapter 1 PowerPoint, and then chapter 2 is under your week module 2. Okay, so check on those. Now let's talk about the PowerPoint. Let me share my screen with everybody. So when I go over the PowerPoint, you guys know what I'm talking about. Let me see. And then guys, if you have any questions during the meeting, just ask along. So just like what you do on the page right now. All right, so how do I track who's live? Who's watching? Well, obviously, if you ask a question, I know you're here. Okay, and also on the right side of the page, here, let me share a screen with everybody. Share screen. All right, so on this screen over here, you see where it says watching. So if you're here, I know you're here because your name will be registered on here. Now, since this is our first meeting, I didn't send any invitation out, but starting from next week, before each meeting, I will send an invitation out to everybody so you guys can join in. That means you can actually do a real face-to-face FaceTime with me during the live meeting, and then you can ask questions that way too. Okay, but for right now, you can just ask the questions on this page. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Laura, I'll make sure I get the credit for it. Now for the extra credits. Uh, it's 2 points extra on the test, but you won't see it immediately. So what I would do, I'll wait until your exam, so for everybody exam is finished, and now go in there to add extra credit. because if I don't, if I do the extra credit today right away, once you take your quiz or once you take your exam, the extra credit will be replaced, so you can't even see them anymore. So I will just wait until once we finish the test, and I'll put the extra credit in there for every single exam. Okay, but keep in mind, guys, it's 2 points for every test, every week. So so if you keep logging for what, saying the first exam is in 5 weeks, that's 5 weeks, 2 points extra every week. That's 10 points extra on the first test. Okay, that is all right, Kimberly. That is very, very important. Very good. Otherwise, I wouldn't know who is KPI. Hey, you know what? KPI sounds like a Chinese name. It does sound like a Chinese name. Okay, Kimberly. Is your last name was okay? Yeah, guys, if you're using your nickname on Google Plus, make sure to send me a message. Let me know what your real name is, so I know who to give the extra credit to. All right. Now, if no other questions, let's talk about our PowerPoint. All right, chapter 1. All right, Masha, are we supposed to go to somewhere specific to see the meeting? I don't see Masha seeing this meeting. Masha, are you able to watch the meeting right now? Just, God, if I say it, here, let me type it. Just click on the play icon. All right, okay, that's good. All right, let's go over the PowerPoint. Now for first week, for this first week is little easy, or it's little easier compared to your later weeks. This week only cover 1 chapter. I think next week is also 1 chapter, but starting from the 3rd week and 4th, we're gonna be covering 2 chapter every single week. Okay, so let's talk about this first chapter first. Now, chapter 1 is very basic definitions. So talk about the 10 principles of economics. So first thing first, so chapter economics deal with scarcity. Scarcity means we don't have enough of everything. I mean, that's true. If you look at the stuff you guys have, your iPhone, your iPad, your computers, your watch, your cars, your house, we have those, but we don't have enough of everything to give free to everybody. So economics deal with the study of how society manage our scarce resource. So you can think this like, is how society use our limited resource to satisfy our unlimited desire. Okay, so that's economics. And then the number 1 principle is that people face trade-off. So for whatever you do, you always give up something for it. So I mean, if you guys are gonna buy something, you give up money for it. If you go to class, you give up your time for it. So for everything you do, there is a trade-off. You must give up something for something else. And then for this trade-off, we have a name for it. It's called the opportunity cost. So opportunity cost is the opportunity you must give up to do something. And then for everything you do, there is opportunity cost. I mean, guys, really just like right now, you listen to me talk for an hour. The opportunity cost is that, you couldn't do anything else. So you couldn't play games right now. You couldn't go to lunch with your friends right now, or you couldn't go to your class right now. I'm hoping nobody's skipping class right now. Okay, so opportunity cost is not the actual cost. It's not how much you pay for. But opportunity cost is what you gave up, like in terms of opportunities, what you couldn't do anymore. to do something else. Okay, and then because opportunity cost is associated with everything we do, therefore there is no free lunch. So whatever you do, there is opportunity cost. But let's assume that there is a free lunch. So let's say that for tomorrow I will buy lunch for everybody. So if you guys come to lunch with me, I will pay for it. Now, even though in that situation you don't actually pay any money for it since I'm paying for it, but you are still paying with opportunity cost, because if you come to lunch with me, you cannot go to lunch with your friends anymore, or you cannot watch TVs anymore. So for everything you do, there is opportunity cost. Okay, now and then number three principle, in economics, we're assuming that people are very rational. Rational means that you use reasons, you use reasoning, that you are not emotional. And then also we make our decisions based on marginal changes. Now for marginal changes, that means we make our decisions based on marginal benefit and marginal cost. So for pretty much everything we do is based on marginal benefit and marginal cost. If your marginal benefit is higher, you do it. If your marginal cost is high, you wouldn't do it anymore. One way to think about it, I mean, if you know any of your friend or any of you guys who are gamers right now, does anybody have two PS4s, or does anybody have two Xbox Ones or Xbox 360s? Not really, right? Because most people just have one. The reason why you won't have one or two, because we don't need second console. So so this will be a perfect example for marginal benefit, marginal cost. So when you have no console at all, when you buy the first console, your marginal benefit is pretty high, and then you pay your 300 or 400 for the console. But for your second console, your marginal benefit is lower now, but your marginal cost still as 300, 400. So your marginal cost more than marginal benefit, you wouldn't do this anymore. Okay, so make sure make this comparison. If marginal cost is higher, then you wouldn't do it, but if marginal benefit is higher, you do it. Now, next, incentive. So again, in economics, we're assuming that consumers respond to incentive. This can be a positive incentive or a negative incentive. I mean, this is a perfect example for you guys right now. I mean, the reason why you come to this online meeting, because you want your 2 extra points. Okay, so consumers, anybody will always respond to incentives. Guys, if you have any question, just type in here. Okay, so ask any questions you have. And then since I have a split screen here, I will see them. Okay, so ask any questions you might have. Okay. All right, now let's continue. Market. The number 6 principle, the market is usually a good way to organize economic activities. So for any market, we try to answer 4 questions: is what do we produce, how do we produce them, how much do we produce, and who do we give it to? And it depends on who you are. This and depends on which market you're in. These 4 questions are answered very differently. That if you're in our current market for U.S. economy, is the market decide all 4 questions. But if you, let's say right now you live in what's that called, Soviet Russia or North Korea or Myanmar or Cuba, where they have the communist countries. So in the communist countries, they have what is called a centrally planned economy. And then for a centrally planned economy, is the government answer all 4 questions. So really in the later days of Soviet Russia, so back in the late 1980s, it was the government answer all 4 questions. So government decide, what kind of good we produce. Government decide how much we produce them. Government decide, how much do we produce, and then once it's produced, government decide who to give it to. But for our economy, it's the market decide. So market, between company and seller together, we decide what to do for these 4 questions over here. Okay, so that's the market. And then no what's the invisible hand? So invisible hand is an economic term coined by one of the earliest economists named Adam Smith in 1776. And an invisible hand is just describing the invisible forces in the economy that's pushing the economy to a certain direction. So, um, so suppose you have well, you guys know the iPhone 7 is coming out, right? So it's coming out in September. So next month, iPhone 7 will be out. Now, for any of your Android users, keep a note. Then make sure you know that the iPhone 7 is coming out. So if you want to switch, get ready. Okay. Now, let's suppose next month when iPhone 7 is out, and then Apple prices it to be at $1,000. Now, obviously, it's too expensive, right? So let's see how invisible hands works. So if the iPhone 7 is priced at $1,000, priced very, very high, nobody want to buy them anymore. So if nobody buy the iPhone anymore, and guess what? Eventually, Apple will have to lower the price. So eventually, the price does go lower. Now, when this happened, this is an example of invisible hand. So when price is too high, the market economy will push the price lower to a certain direction. Okay, so invisible hand, it just and it also works the other ways too. So vice versa, if the price is too low, then everybody all want to buy the iPhone at a lower price, and all of a sudden sold out. And then once it's sold out, the price will be higher, and then eventually go back to, I don't know how much is it right now, 700 or 650. So it go back to where it should be. Oh, by the way, if any of you guys want to make some money, what you can do, take notes, okay? So if you want to make money, what you can do, go to Apple Store right now. You want to go with a friend, with a group of friends. Okay, so go to Apple Stores, and then you want to camp out. So just camp out, and then make sure you're the first one in line to buy the iPhone 7. Now, this is why once you buy the iPhone 7, I know you want to use it right away, but don't, okay? Fight the urge, don't use it. Don't even open the box. Once you buy the iPhone 7, sell them on eBay. And I guarantee you on the first day of release, you can sell the iPhone 7 for at least $1,000. So in the very early days, you can make some profit off iPhone 7. Okay. So that's one way to make money. Now let's keep going. Number 7, so government can sometimes improve market outcome. So government is not always a good participant in the marketplace. Now, you're going to learn this later in the later chapters. They can learn that government more than often cause inefficiency in the marketplace, but government sometimes can be good. And then one of the good examples for government is that the government does enforce property right. Let me give you example that in the early this is 2005 when U.S. military first went into Iraq, and then so during the first days of the Iraq War, CNN actually went to Baghdad, and then when they were at Baghdad, there was a neighborhood, and the neighborhood was empty. Everybody all fled, but there was only one guy left who was in his store, and then the CNN journalist asked the store owner, saying, "Hey, sir, why are you still here? Why are you still behind? Shouldn't you? I mean, don't you want to go somewhere that's safer?" And then the guy says, "Oh, I'm afraid that if I go away, my store will not be here anymore." Well, the reason why is that at the time of war, there was no more government left. So when there's no government left, there's nobody can enforce property right. So this guy was afraid that if he goes somewhere safer, then somebody else can come over and take over his store. And then because there's no more government, there's no way to prove that whose store this is. So one good thing government can do is to enforce property right. And then government can also regulate different marketplace to make sure the market is at equilibrium, or make sure market is producing more efficiently. So if you guys think, one of the good regulation we have is that, for example, EPA, which enforce clean air. So those are some areas where government can do good in the economy. Okay. All right. So market failure. So market failure is when the market fail to allocate resource efficiently. Now, I think this is chapter 10. So we're going to have an entire chapter talk about what is market failure, what is externality, and what's market power. So make sure you know the market power is when you have a single buyer or seller who has substantial influence on market price. Okay. Let me see. All right. Now, number 8. Number 8 is it says the country's standard of living depends on its ability to produce goods and service. So let's put it this way. How poor or how rich a country is doesn't depend on how much money you have. How poor a country is, it depends on how much good you can produce. So if you guys know that one way to measure how much money or how rich the country is, we use a measurement called GDP. So GDP stands for gross domestic product. Actually measures how much good country can produce. So keep in mind that to see how poor or how rich a country is, we don't care about how much money you have, because money is relative. We care about how much good you have. Okay, and then another way to think about how money is relative, think like this. Let's suppose I give, well, how many people we have right now? We have 11 people who is currently watching this online meeting. So 11 people who is getting the extra credit. Let's suppose I give all you guys here, so everybody who's currently listening to me talk, I give you guys, everybody here, $1 million. Yours. Okay, this is yours, $1 million. But there's a catch. The only catch is that the $1 million I gave it to you will be deposited for you in your name in a bank account somewhere, and then this bank account will be earning interest rate. But the only catch is you can never use the money. Well, then what's money good for? Nothing, right? So just because you have money doesn't mean you're rich. What it means that you need to have some stuff. So to be called rich or poor, we need to look at how much stuff you have. Okay, that's number 8 principle. And number 9 principle is that price will rise when government print too much money. So that when price increase, that's called inflation. We also have a chapter on this. I think this is chapter 17 or 16. We're going to talk about inflation. Let me give you some example for inflation. Now, for our country, every country has inflation. So inflation is very, very common. But there's a difference between a very healthy inflation and a very unhealthy inflation. So if your inflation is about 1 to 2% per year, that's okay. And then for U.S. economy, currently for our inflation for U.S. is below 2% per year, and that's a very healthy inflation. So with a little healthy inflation, we're sending the right message to the companies. So when price goes up, we're saying to the company, says, "Hey, company, look, the price is going up because we want to buy your stuff." And the company will hire more employees, produce more stuff, and then economy move forward. But if your inflation is too high, now that would be called hyperinflation, that would destroy the economy. So there are 2 countries you can think about. The first country, you guys probably read it before in your history book. So it's was Germany back in the early 1930s. Germany was having record inflation. In those days, in Germany, people, now over here, we're getting our paycheck once every 2 weeks. In Germany, in the early 1930s, people were getting a paycheck twice per day. So you work half day, and then you get your half day paycheck, and then you have a little 15-minute spending break, and then you come back to work, and then you get your second half day paycheck. And the reason why people are getting paid twice per day is that you can get the money right away, and if you wait until end of the day, the price will be higher. So price is always increasing. And then for many people, when they go out to eat, they prefer to pay first then eat, because if you eat then pay, price is higher. So that was like a record inflation for Germany. Now, that was in the early 1930s, so that's a very long time ago. The most recent hyperinflation we have in history is a country called Zimbabwe. So in Zimbabwe, back in 2008, their inflation was about 1.2 trillion %. So what that means that if you go to a store, so go to a store in Zimbabwe back in 2008. In February, go to a store, you probably pay $6,000 for one loaf of bread. And then 6 months later, you go back to the same store, you buy the same loaf of bread. The price might be like $1.2 trillion just to buy one loaf of bread. So everything's more expensive. And then I believe this is also a discussion topic video. So later on, when you guys, I think this chapter, week 16 or week 14. So when do discussion, you watch this video on Zimbabwe. So back then, in 2008, for Zimbabwe, the currency, their smallest denomination for currency. Now for ours, the smallest we have is $1, right? For Zimbabwe back in 2008, their smallest denomination is $1 billion. So which means in 2008, if you have money in Zimbabwe, you are at least a billionaire. But does it make you rich? No, it doesn't. Okay, the reason why is that everything's more expensive. That even though you have more money, but all your extra money is eaten away by the inflation. So when price goes up, and the reason why price was going up in 2008 in Zimbabwe was because the government was printing too much money. So money is like any other good in the economy. The more you have it, the lower a value is. Okay. All right. And number 10, the last principle for chapter 1, is that society face a trade-off between inflation and unemployment. So we mentioned this before, that inflation, a very healthy inflation is good, because for a healthy inflation, we're sending the right message to the companies. We're telling the companies, hey, companies, you know what, the price is increasing because we want to buy your stuff. So in the short run, in the short span of time, when you have inflation, company look at this as a positive sign. They want to produce more stuff. So when they produce more stuff, the unemployment rate goes down because you're going to hire more people. And then vice versa, when the price goes down, so inflation is when price goes up. But when price goes down, it's called deflation. So when you have a deflation, company look at this as a very negative sign. They're saying, oh, look, nobody wants to buy our stuff anymore. That's why the price is going down. Well, if nobody want to buy our stuff, guess what? We don't need all these laborers anymore. So we're going to lay off everybody. So deflation, your unemployment rate goes up. Inflation, your unemployment rate goes down. So in the short run, they have an inverse relationship. One goes up, other one goes down. Okay. All right. So guys, that's it for chapter 1. Does anybody have any questions? Oh yeah, Masha, that's probably your phone, but it's okay. Guys, one good thing about this meeting, that it is recorded session. So once we finish, once the meeting is over, you can come back in here. You can watch it again and again anytime you want. Okay, so don't worry, if you couldn't watch it live right now, you can always come back here and watch it live. I'll watch a recorded session. Now, however, if you guys notice, there's a little message over here. So Google Plus is making some changes, and then on September 12th, what we're doing right now, we'll be moving to YouTube Live. But don't worry, once that happens, I will put a new link on your Canvas, so you can go to the meeting from the link on Canvas. Okay. Now let's talk about one more thing before we call it a day today. So everybody have access to your modules already, right? And then on the modules, where's my module? All right, so on the modules, you have all the links over here. And then for the first week, remember guys, for the first week, we have a couple things to do. You have your chapter 1 quiz, which is due on Sunday night. Your week 1 discussion is due on next Monday night, but try to finish it early. Don't wait until last minute. And then this thing over here, your chapter 1 assignment help. So when you guys work on your chapter 1 homeworks, so after homework, let me open it for you. So when you work on chapter 1 homework, let me see how many questions we have. Chapter 1 homework, let it load. It's a little slow. It's still loading. All right, so chapter 1 homework, there are total of 7 questions. Now, many of these are easy questions, just definitions, but there are a couple of hard questions over here. So what we have on your Applia or on your Canvas, let me go back to module. So over here where it says chapter 1 assignment help, so if you click on it, this will bring you to our YouTube page. And on my YouTube page, I made some videos earlier, try to help you guys to work on the, you know what, is it not working? Okay, all right, so you gotta click on it. Now guys, and just notice this, now if you just open this with Canvas, it doesn't show anything, but if you click on it, it will bring you to the external page. Okay, so once you click on it, it will bring you to the YouTube page. Okay, and on the YouTube page, you see that I have videos for chapter 1, number 2, and then chapter 1, number 3, chapter 1, number 7. Okay, so that's the issue with Canvas we need to fix. But just click on it for now, and it'll bring you to the external page for YouTube. It has all the videos on there. Okay. Does anybody have any questions at this point right now? No questions. Oh, one more thing. There's always one must. One more thing I'm gonna mention that make sure when you guys do your Applia homework, remember every question you have 3 tries, and then the system will take the highest score. But the only way to get your 3 tries, make sure every time you finish a question. Let me show you, for example. So when you finish with each question, do not click on save and continue. Don't do that. Click on grading now. Okay, once you do grading now, you have 3 options. But if you click on save and continue, you only have one try. Okay, so make sure click on the go back. Make sure click on grading now. So grading now give you 3 options. So like what I did before on the first video, it gave us 3 options and take the highest score. But if you just do save and continue, it's only 1 try. And then also when you look at this page over here, for the chapter 1 page, so on this page you have your reading assignment, your problem walkthroughs, and then this thing over here called direct from text homework. Some of you already did it right now. So for direct from text homework, this is only for practice. That's why you see a P over here. So if your time is short, and then if you need to make my priorities, work on the Applia homework and quiz first, okay? Because this is only for practice. All right. Laura. Okay. So guys, this goes for Laura and everybody. If you did 3 tries on your homework, and then you feel like you can do better on your Applia homework, send me an email. What I can do, I can reset it for you. So once it's reset, then you'll be able to go back in there and work on it one more time. But there's a catch. If I reset it for you, your grade becomes 0. Okay, so if you don't do it after I reset it, you get a 0 for the homework. Okay, so make sure once you send me an email, once I reset it for you, you go back in there, work on it. Okay, and then Magali, question regarding what's the ISBN number for the textbook. I didn't put on the syllabus. Okay. Okay. I will find it for you. I'll post on the on this page. Okay. And then Kimberly. Okay. So Kimberly, for the quiz and for the homework assignment, there are not times. So really you can work on it. You can come back and take a pause and come back to it later. Okay. Yeah, sure. You can pause it and come back later. Now, once you guys work on the test, for the test, it's better if you finish in 1 session. The reason why is that sometimes they do have system glitch. There's no way to prevent them from happening. So you never know. You might be working on the test, and then you almost finished, and then something happens, you lose everything. So try to finish everything on the quiz. Oh, thank you, Laura. So it is on the syllabus. And then Magali, make sure to buy either from the bookstore or buy it from the ebook on MindTap directly. Because if you buy it from Amazon, it's too expensive. So it's cheaper. It's cheaper if you buy it from the bookstore or the MindTap directly. It's okay. I mean, the reason why it has different ISBN number between the syllabus and the MindTap. The MindTap has the custom edition for HCC. So now, once you guys get the book from the bookstore, it's like this loose leaf page. That's why it's a different ISBN number. Now the ISBN number I listed on the syllabus, actually that's the ISBN number for the hardcover book. That's how they have different numbers, but they're the same book. They're the same book. So if you buy them from the bookstore, you'd be perfectly okay. Okay. Oh, then you'll be fine. Yeah. So once you get the book, make sure you use the access code from the back to access your MindTap. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any other questions? No questions. All right, guys. If no questions, let's call it meeting now. Okay. Oh, my wife is calling me. So if no questions, let's stop here today. And then now, if you have any question you think of later on, email to me and I'll answer them as soon as possible. Okay. All right, guys. If nothing else, good luck on your homework. Good luck on your assignment, and I will see you guys same time next week. All right. See you later. Bye bye.